Not great news.
Caitlin Clark,
one of the key players,
will be out a minimum of 2 weeks
with a quadriceps.
That stinks for the Fever, obviously. That stinks for our city.
We don't know how bad it is.
That sucks for everybody.
Everything shifted instantly. Pat McAfee is blowing up online after revealing a shocking truth about Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark will be out for at least 2 weeks.
Caitlin Clark has suffered a left quadriceps strain and will be out a minimum of 2 weeks.
That also stinks for the WNBA as a whole.
And it's the kind of reality the WNBA can't keep brushing aside. McAfee didn't sugarcoat anything. He said it straight. Caitlin Clark is the attraction, the image, and the next era of the league.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP.
She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
Her absence isn't just a health issue. It's revealing a truth the league has tried to avoid.
Christine Brennan. She said, "This is such unfortunate news for Caitlin Clark, of course, and the Fever. It's also terrible news for the WNBA, which relies on Clark for so much attendance, viewership, social media, merchandise, in a way no sports league has ever before. I've asked the WNBA for comment."
From tanking ticket prices to fading fan interest, we're about to reveal how one phenom is lifting an entire league, and why the world is finally realizing her unmatched value. If you stand with Caitlin Clark, comment 100% for Caitlin now. Let's flood her with support.
It is undeniable that Caitlin Clark is the engine.
Caitlin Clark effect. There has been so much of an influx in attendance, in jersey sales, and viewership, all the things.
That's about star power, narrative, and likability.
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
She's so good at basketball.
Just recently, Pat McAfee set the internet ablaze with one explosive truth, and it's rippling across the basketball scene. On his show, full of trademark energy, McAfee looked into the lens and declared it boldly. Caitlin Clark drives the numbers, the Fever are the main event, and without her, the game shifts completely.
Caitlin Clark will be out for at least 2 weeks. She has a quad strain that has been bugging her since training camp. Caitlin Clark is the needle mover. The Indiana Fever are the draw. They're going to be without CC for at least a couple weeks as she rests and tries to heal up a quad strain. That sucks for everybody.
That clip? It's now being shared thousands of times every minute. This isn't just a viral opinion. McAfee is saying what millions of fans have felt, but what league officials were too scared to admit. Caitlin Clark isn't just any player. She's the reason fans are tuning in. The second she was ruled out with a left quad strain, ticket prices crashed 42%, and the electric buzz around every Fever game started to vanish.
Indiana Fever tickets have dropped 42% for the games in the next 2 weeks. Unfortunately, people deciding to not watch the game anymore because Caitlin Clark was the reason.
And he didn't stop there. Pat flat out said this injury isn't just a blow to Indiana, it's a hit to the entire WNBA.
Peterson said Caitlin Clark's left quad strain is a new injury, I'm told. It is not related to her left quad injury from training camp that forced her to miss the preseason opener.
It stinks for the Fever, it stinks for our city, and it stings for the league, he said. And the stats prove him right. With Clark off the court, arenas that were packed just days earlier are suddenly scattered with empty seats. Those viral videos of packed crowds, gone.
The Caitlin Clark effect is going to be tabled, and we're going to find out what kind of ratings and attendance we see for the Indiana Fever in her absence. One thing I can tell you is that ticket scalpers are taking a beating.
And here's where things get even more serious. McAfee called this a turning point. This is the league's defining test.
It is unfortunate that she did go down with an injury. I think this is such a big deal because of the weight that she has, the weight that she carries on her shoulders for the success of the WNBA, or much of it, many of the viewership, much of the ratings, attendance in the arena.
Also seeing a lot of fans saying that they are just not going to watch, they're not going to go to the games, they're going to sell their tickets because Caitlin isn't playing.
A full-on wake-up call for the WNBA. For months, we've heard, the league is bigger than Caitlin Clark. But now that she's out, we're about to learn if that holds up, or if the hype crumbles without her. If it does, the WNBA will have no choice but to admit Caitlin Clark is the centerpiece right now. McAfee's blunt truth is why his message is spreading like wildfire. He voiced what fans believed, but what the league kept dodging.
She averages 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 rebounds a game, and nobody even comes close to the assists.
Caitlin Clark is the most valuable figure in women's basketball, period. If anyone still questioned her worth to the WNBA, her absence has made it undeniable. Pat McAfee's viral comments weren't just emotional, they were rooted in fact. Now we're breaking down the raw numbers that prove Caitlin Clark isn't just the league's top player. She's the powerhouse behind everything. Take her stats. She's putting up 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 rebounds per game.
She looks like a varsity player going against JV. She had 5 rebounds in 19 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
5 rebounds in 19 seconds. I know everybody's saying, like, you shouldn't be able to do that, you're whatever the case. But imagine if she starts putting those in. I mean, that's going to be, she's potentially getting 40-40.
And remember, those are rookie stats. Her 9.3 assists per game don't just lead the Fever, they outpace the rest of the league by a mile. Nobody is even close. Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, 2 of Indiana's top players, average only 2.3 assists each. That means Clark is directly responsible for nearly every offensive play they run. She's not just scoring, she's orchestrating.
The jerseys, the number 22, the various styles, whether it's a t-shirt with 22, whether it's an Iowa jersey, whether it's a Fever jersey, a throwback, I mean, whatever. The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is stunning.
She elevates everyone around her. That's not a theory. It's clear in the footage. Watch Aaliyah Boston's highlights. Many of her points are direct results of Clark's passes. When Caitlin's in the game, the whole team clicks. Ball movement sharpens, spacing improves. Defenses stretch thin. She sets the pace. She's not just the point guard, she's the strategist, the engine, and the team's emotional core. And her influence doesn't stop with Indiana. Clark has transformed WNBA viewership, ticket sales, and merch. Christine Brennan put it perfectly. The WNBA runs on Clark. Social media exploded. Jerseys? Number 22 leads by a mile. TV numbers? Wait for it.
The United Center game that they're playing with the Chicago Sky was supposed to be over 20,000 people in attendance, was supposed to be the most attended WNBA game in history.
All 20 of the most watched WNBA games this season share one thing. Caitlin Clark was on the court. So what changed when her injury was announced? Ticket prices crashed by 42% overnight. Games that were on track to sell out now feature empty rows. One matchup in particular, Fever vs. Sky in Chicago, was set to break WNBA attendance records with 20,000 plus fans.
Indiana Fever are ranked number 3 in offense in the league.
But once the injury news hit, that game's momentum vanished and the hype faded fast. Even Indiana's offensive stats took a nosedive. With Clark, they were 3rd in league scoring. Without her, they can't find rhythm, spacing, or flow. Coach Stephanie White is scrambling, rotating veteran Sid Colson at point, and using Sophie Cunningham as a spark off the bench. But no one can fill Clark's shoes. She's irreplaceable.
Steph White did tell the media that in Caitlin Clark's stead, she will be starting Sydney Colson at the point.
This is as, trying to figure out new rotations, who's going to run point. Have you kind of nailed that down yet ahead of tomorrow? Yeah, we're going to start Sydney point tomorrow. Give that a look. Sophie's going to get a heavy dose of it as well. The other thing that we love is what Sophie and or Lexi, whichever one, brings us from the bench and having that spark, having that punch. So we're gonna look at Sid in that starting lineup to start.
Let's also talk about the mental impact. Caitlin's absence isn't just about stats. It's a momentum killer. The team looks off. The spark fades. National attention shifts. Clark isn't just a player. She's the main event, the headline, the magnet. She's why ESPN covers the WNBA during prime hours. McAfee noticed. Christine Brennan reported. Fans feel it. The WNBA's sudden rise this season comes down to one name, Caitlin Clark. When she went out with a left quad strain, the concern wasn't just about her missing a few games. It became a wake-up call for the entire WNBA. Because suddenly, the league had to ask itself a question it wasn't ready for. What does the WNBA look like without Caitlin Clark? The answer came fast and clear. It's just not the same, not even close. Let's begin with her team. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White gave us a powerful quote in her press conference after the injury. She said, "We're treating her like a franchise player because she is one."
You know, there's so many things when you think about Caitlin and her not wanting to miss games. Obviously, she's a competitor, wants to play. Obviously, everyone wants to watch her play. But for me, it's maintaining perspective, right? It's making sure that we address this in a way that doesn't affect long term. That we take care of it. Don't over push. Don't overexert. Making sure that we take the long game approach to this, so that we're not having lingering issues throughout the course of the season. And I'm glad that sometimes great players don't tell you when they're hurting. I'm glad that she did, because we need to nip this.
That kind of statement is rare in the WNBA, but with Clark, it's more than justified. The Fever's entire offense revolves around her. Her court vision, her pace, her shooting range, and her leadership. Taking her out of the lineup isn't a small shift. It's a complete identity loss. The Fever had to act quickly. Veteran guard Sid Colson was named the new starting point guard.
Sid Colson, she has not had any minutes. She has not had a lot of court presence this season, but she does have a lot of veteran experience at the point.
Colson had barely seen playing time this season, but Stephanie White trusted her veteran composure. Still, no one expects Colson to match Clark's impact. That's not criticism, it's just fact. Then there's Sophie Cunningham, who shined in preseason when Clark rested. She'll now serve as an energy option off the bench, expected to provide scoring bursts. But even her success only reminds fans what's missing: the floor leader who made it all click. Here's the reality. Even with all the changes, the game plan still centers around Clark's eventual return. That's how critical she is. White is keeping rotations as steady as possible, so when Clark comes back, they won't need to restart team chemistry. This isn't a standard injury adjustment. It's survival mode until the star returns.
But it seems like this is something in her left quad and her left leg, that she has been dealing with something, but the Indiana Fever have said that she will be out a minimum of 2 weeks.
But it's not just strategy and rotations. The media response to Clark's injury has made one thing painfully obvious. She is the lifeline of this league. Analysts, radio hosts, and former pros are all echoing the same thought. This is the WNBA's big test, and right now it's struggling. Pat McAfee called it the litmus test. Dan Dockich added that the WNBA is finally learning what it means to lose a true megastar. He even said Clark's cultural reach reminds him of Peyton Manning's Colts era, and noted he's never seen more number 22 jerseys in Indiana, even during Manning's peak.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
It also shows just how fragile the WNBA's hold-on fan loyalty really is. As soon as Clark's injury hit the news, thousands of fans pulled their tickets, listed them for resale, or swore off attending games. Harsh, but honest. And for a league that's been chasing mainstream relevance for decades, it's a tough truth. Clark isn't just a talented rookie. She's the WNBA's golden ticket. Even marketing efforts are collapsing. Games moved to large venues to match Clark's popularity are now struggling with sales. Social media traffic is down. Jersey sales have slowed. Broadcasters are reshuffling their plans to fill in for matchups that were built around her. It may feel like a setback, but in truth, it's the ultimate proof of her importance. Because, in her absence, we finally see her full gravity. It's not just her stats, it's her presence. She attracts media, she drives attendance, she packs arenas.
The arenas have been moved on away games to the massive stadium, so you wonder if, those screenshots, you talk about the litmus test, the screenshots from those arenas without Caitlin Clark now might be very, very bad, but it is a bummer. She was, going to win the MVP. Still might, that's not out of the question at all, but she was the betting favorite.
She's trending every night, and the second she's sidelined, the WNBA feels noticeably quieter. Fans have pointed out that even her recent struggles on the court were linked to injury.
I will say that I noticed in the last couple games, because I feel like the last 2 games she did not play well. She might have done well statistically, although she didn't shoot well from 3. And I know a lot of people were wondering, why is she in this shooting slump? It seems like now we know. A lot of you guys, when we were in the live watch parties, a lot of you were commenting that she was sick. You could hear it in her voice that she was sick. It seems like at this point, this is the reason why we haven't seen Caitlin at 100%. We haven't seen her as quick as we saw her last season.
Show she was using heating pads on the bench, massaging her quad and clearly slowing down on fast breaks. What looked like a cold streak was really her playing through discomfort.
Now, there have also been some videos going around online where Caitlin has been using like heating packs and ice packs on her legs, not ice packs, but heating packs during the game. And there's also been clips where she's on the bench and she's kind of rubbing her leg. And so it seems like there have been multiple occasions where it had been bothering her and nobody just knew to what extent that was.
That only adds more respect to what she's done. Clark wasn't just suiting up. She was battling injury, powering through it, and still carrying. Franchise on her back. And don't forget the mental side. This moment isn't just a setback, it's a chance to grow. Back in preseason when Clark sat out, she said the experience gave her a different view.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It allowed her to analyze the game like a coach. Now, she's going through that process again, and when she returns, she'll be sharper, stronger, and more ready to lead, not just Indiana, but the entire league into its next chapter. Because here's what people need to realize. Caitlin Clark's impact doesn't vanish when she's not playing. She still dominates debate shows, highlights, and headlines. That's influence. That's leadership. That's what makes her the face of the WNBA, even now.
I didn't plan to shoot that logo 3. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the 3rd, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not?
So now you've seen the full picture. Pat McAfee said what others wouldn't, and every stat, every fan reaction, and every headline proves he was right. Caitlin Clark isn't just a breakout. She's the force moving the WNBA forward. Her absence has revealed exactly how crucial she is to Indiana, to the league, and to the future of women's hoops. But this isn't the end. It's just a pause. The return is coming. And when Caitlin Clark steps back on that hardwood, the cheers will be louder, the cameras will flash brighter, and all eyes will be on her. Because greatness isn't just about presence, it's about what happens when that presence is missed.
Caitlin Clark is Indiana Fever's leading scorer at over 19 points a game. Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
Yeah, she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
Cannot deny the impact that she's made on this sport.
If you're standing with Caitlin Clark, if you believe in her through every high and low, then flood the comments with 100% for Caitlin. Show her that the fans are still here. And if this video hit you hard, remember to like, subscribe, and share it. Because this goes beyond the game. This is bigger than basketball. This is a movement. And Caitlin Clark is leading the way. We'll keep bringing you the updates. Until then, stay passionate, stay committed, and stay 100% for Caitlin.